All right, good morning, everyone. Hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. My name is Tim Ealer. I know I did. Um, hope you get to spend time with your families, enjoy it. And hopefully you have off today like I do and can start putting up your Christmas decorations, things like that today. So what we got going on today, lake effect snow here in the favorite areas with a potential for snow squalls today, generally in this area here, as a cold front moves through. So we could have some heavy bursts of snow here today, which make travel just about impossible. But the major snow event in the coming days is already showing up here on the radar. Excuse me. We have some overrunning precip right now. Multiple. It's like just a boundary here. Um, bisecting the U.S. right now. Right. Probably mid-level feature moving through the flow. And if we switch to the water vapor loop, we can see that real quick. Uh, switch to the water vapor loop, Tim. Here we go. Yeah, so this is the water vapor loop. Mid-level water vapor. See mid-level feature up here in the northwest. Looks like in general it's gonna dig over the front range of the Rockies and then gonna get surface low develop here. It's gonna move in this direction. Bringing heavy snow to this area, and we'll go over that in a minute. See how dry it is here at the mid-levels down here in the southeast with the deeper yellow colors indicating dry air. Just some high clouds streaming over the Rockies and a lot of precip going on this morning. So switching back to the radar, this is kind of an in-between day. And when tomorrow, where the intensity of snow is going to pick up again for the Midwest and move generally towards the Great Lakes area, and move into Canada eventually. So even some ocean effect snow going on over here. Maybe a little bit of snow here in the North Carolina mountains, surface trough moving through. Let me know if you saw any snow up there or snow flurries here in the Appalachian Mountains. Okay. So here's the key messages for lake effect snow and snow squalls in the next couple days. Continuing lake effect snow for the downwind of the Great Lakes tonight. Additional snowfall totals of 6 to 12 inches are generally expected. Locally higher downwind of Lake Erie in Ontario. And then impactful snow squalls is depicted by this graphic down here. Highest chance of snow squalls here in the red area, greater than 60%. And maybe some snow squalls in the orange area. High winds, heavy snowfall, burst and 10% heavy snowfall, which could cause whiteout conditions as you're traveling today. So be mindful of that. So it'd be scattered in nature, but when they do come through, it's going to be pretty intense. So be mindful of that today. So that's the key messages for the post-Thanksgiving winter storm. Um, heavy snow across much of the Midwest this holiday weekend with major travel impacts. Okay, so it start developing today, and here's where the greatest. Let me move my picture here. Greatest impacts are expected to be. Right, and we'll show you that a little bit more on a different map, but expected amounts are up here. Valid through 6 p.m. Sunday, approaching a foot of snow near the Waterloo area, 9 to 10 inches, Madison, Milwaukee, Chicago, Of course, the lake effect favored areas. So quite a wide area here. Um, with rates exceeding 1 inches per hour at times, and significant accumulations of 6 to 12 inches in a broad swath from northern plains through the Midwest and the western Great Lakes, and locally more than a foot of snow for parts of Iowa, Illinois, and Wisconsin. So this is expected amount of snowfall map. It's an experimental map put out by National Weather Service and shows pretty much the same graphic here. All right. This is accumulations through Monday at like 8 p.m. So it'll be Sunday. Sorry, Sunday around 8 p.m. So um, yeah. So if we zoom in here and zoom in, you have a little clicks you can make on this to show what the probabilities of snow are. Expected 14 inches for Lake Marshalltown. You see probabilities here. Okay. So pretty good, neat graphic here, like Waterloo, for example. Expected 14 inches. So between 8 and 16, right? But the expected 14. So if you go over to and zoom in here, you don't really have anything, right? But you see you can hover over 21 inches of snow expected here. Click on this. So does New York, low, and I mean, with lake effect events, there's always a chance you're not going to get anything. Depends where the band's set up. So you have a Buffalo, you can see maybe 2 inches of snow. All right, so you see where the higher areas are. Okay, and if we go through the forecast here, let's do this real quick. We can start today through 6Z Saturday. Expected amounts. The highest amounts are in red here. You see the table over here to the right. Move through time where the most. This is a 24-hour period. Okay, so 12Z Friday, the 28th, which is 8 a.m. The 12th to 8 a.m. Saturday. Okay, you see where the most. This is Friday through Saturday. 18Z, 18Z. See, it picks up quite a bit. And there's where the most snowfall moves further to the east, moves to the northeast there. And then on Monday, the system moves out, and maybe you have some more snowfall occurring over the Colorado plateau, maybe the mountains, Mountain West, Utah, Nevada. So it looks to me from this map that the highest amounts are going to be relegated to Iowa, Illinois, Michigan, parts of Wisconsin, parts of Indiana, and downwind of the it's like Lake Erie right there. Right, so through Monday. So going to be quite difficult travel here in the coming days for this weekend. We got a lot going on the hazards map too this morning. Want to refresh it, but you see winter storm warning for a large area of the Midwest. I mean, you can see where the winter weather advisories are, winter storm warnings, winter storm watch, winter weather advisories in parts of New York, Pennsylvania. But you see where the largest area is here. You got a freeze warning down here in southeast Georgia, northern Florida, likely the first freeze of the year, and some dense fog advisories here. And high wind watch or warning down here, wind advisory in this one area, kind of out in the middle of nowhere, but it's there nonetheless. Current temperatures as of 6 a.m. Cold for a good portion of the nation, especially in the northern high plains into the Great Lakes, below freezing or close to freezing for a good portion of the eastern U.S., central U.S., and northern. And the exception is into Texas, 50s to 60s in the desert Southwest, and along the extreme western U.S. here. And let's look at the wind chill here. Yeah, brutally cold up here in the high plains, northern high plains, with these high winds today, right now. Better be wearing your parka and gloves if you're going to be out this morning. And, so this is the first push, first push of cold air over a good portion of the nation here this winter season. And, the winter solstice is December 21st. So after that, the sun starts, days get longer. So we don't have long till they start getting longer again. So hang in there. Temperature change since yesterday. Florida, 20 degrees colder than it was yesterday. And we noted that in Texas it's warmer. It seems warmer than everywhere else. You can see the temperatures are warmer than they were yesterday. A little bit warmer than they were yesterday up here in the northern plains, but still cold. And most of the eastern U.S. colder than it was yesterday. So, current wind gusts. You see the highest winds are in the right off the front range of the Rockies. And those high winds will move further east as the system gets to get itself together here. And high winds as a cold front moves through the east and off the east coast, even in the Appalachians in North Georgia this morning. And down here in Texas as well. So quite a lot of high winds here streaming in from the west. We kind of show this, how much snowfall, but this is a graphic that just shows in general how much snow we've had between for 3 days. So that's starting Monday, Tuesday, maybe Tuesday through Thursday, right? So it's not too easy to see here, but you see the highest amounts and where they were up near Lake Superior, Lake Michigan, then the lesser Great Lakes here of Erie and Ontario, and into the northwest, the higher terrain of the Cascades here, which is not unusual this time of year. So this is the latest surface analysis from the HRRR model, showing interestingly enough, not a lot of returns. It's not showing the snow that was showing up on the radar. I wonder if this is even reaching the ground, the stuff on the radar. Maybe not. The lake effect streamers here, coming off the lakes, right? And we saw that on the radar. Maybe this forward in time. See these streamers off the lakes really pick up as that system moves through that cold front. New fortune shot of cold air there. System really gets going here. Low pressure developing on the lee side of the Rockies, which happens quite a bit. And that's where we end up with this model. But you see this system really gets going tomorrow, right, for the northern high plains. Interacting with moisture from the Gulf, right, streaming northward. And there you go, snow, overrunning snow, low pressure on the lee side of the Rockies. Now we go out to the NAM model. Not a lot of people don't like the NAM, but North American 3K model, which is a pretty high resolution model. It picks the same thing as the HRR, but the low pressure is a little bit falling behind there. I don't know if it really matters in terms of sensible weather here. Move it through time. You see a heavy snow here for a good portion of the this area, and really it depends exactly where this load tracks. Okay, so we could compare that to like another model. Let's just try the HRW. Yeah, it doesn't. Well, kind of screwed me up there. Go back to national. Sorry, guys. It doesn't let me do definitely do a national map, so that's my bad. Let's go back to the Central Plains here, Midwest. How about that? Yeah, so let's move this through. Go back out. It pretty much has the same look as the NAM. Highest precip amounts, although it's not showing to me. It doesn't look like it's heavy, right? But you see the banding here going on. It really depends where this surface low goes. All right, so now we look at the little further out. This is the Euro, and I like to use the Euro because it's the most reliable model in my mind. All right, and a lot of people's. So, interestingly enough, yeah, there's your system moving through that we just talked about. Scoots off to the north. Scoots, what a word. Uh, cold air stays entrenched here, right? We have a general zonal flow in the south. Not much going on the west coast. And then this trough digs down here, right? We have a low pressure develop along in the Gulf of Mexico. Heavy rainfall potential exists here, along with icing in the Appalachians. With the cold air damming, cold air kind of is pushed down this way, right? That high pressure, but the high pressure doesn't stay in place very long. It kind of moves out, right? So it doesn't block the system's progress. So likely not heavy snow, meaning like a long-term event here. You see it moves quickly out as it intensifies, right? But right along the main coast here, into Canada, the Canadian Maritimes, may get a pretty hefty snowfall here. But even let's zoom in, see if we can zoom into the northeast here. See if it'll let me. See the rain snow line. Really depends on the final track of this system, right? And so we'll just have to keep an eye on that. This would be Tuesday during the day. So it could be a pretty impactful event for many uh, traveling home, right, from work. So we'll just have to keep an eye on that. And that moves out to sea, out to the north, right? So, and that's where this model run ends. Go back out to national. Relatively quiet when we get into the middle part of next week, with some like effect potentially snow showers here. This is Wednesday the 3rd at 7 p.m. So yeah, we got a couple systems coming through. the main player is going to be the one impacting the Midwest in the next couple days. Then we get the southern rider going, for lack of a better word, going this way up the East Coast somewhere here, bringing potential snow, freezing rain in this area, and some beneficial rain down here. So maybe some flooding. And go over those threats here next. So as far as temps go, what are we looking at? Well, in the future, we kind of talked about that already, but this 850 millibar temperature anomaly gives us a good idea about what the temps are at the surface, and you can see where the coldest area is, right? So yeah, I mean, you see the deep purples here indicate 850 millibar temperature anomalies that are way below normal, 13, 14 Celsius, right? Cold air up here to the north, and cold air in general, colder than normal here for most of the eastern U.S., exception of the western U.S., right? So let's move this through a little bit. Those temps move out, but you see still running, near normal at the 850 millibar level. See if we can, this is Euro AI, right? So I like this model because it's pretty reliable. See the cold temps dipping down here, and this is Sunday. It's part of that system, low pressure here, on the backside of that system moving through, right? They still kind of stay bobbled up here to the east of the Rockies. Warm temps build back into the southeast. You see cold air building back up here in the north, right? Heights falling here. Remnants of whatever cold air is left there. And this is Tuesday, okay? Cold air, looks like a cold front trying to push through here. And maybe down here, the front range of the Rockies. Cold, cold, cold here. That's that system moves to the north, right? But that low pressure that we were talking about moved up here. Okay. Warm temps, 850 millibars sticking around here in the south. That cold air pushes out, right? So then you have another trough digging in here further downstream here. This is the Saturday, right? So warmer than normal temps again, with colder than normal temps building up to the north on the front range of the Rockies. They try to push south, but then you have a ridge flexing out here in the west. So this is next Monday, 1 p.m. This is as far as I'm going to go. So overall, intrusions of cold air, then warming back up, especially for the south, but for the northeast and northern to the U.S. is going to stay relatively cold in the coming days. So, and we'll go over that a little bit of extended forecast from the Climate Prediction Center next. Very quickly, I want to go over the excessive rainfall outlook in the coming days. Today, we don't have any excessive rainfall expected, which makes sense given what we talked about. Then we have potential for heavy rain right along the Gulf Coast. Tomorrow, for day 3, don't have anything. And day 4, as that system gets going, you see the excessive rainfall probabilities increase here. Kind of in a narrow corridor from Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. Looks like it kind of gets strung out right there. And it moves further to the northeast as that system moves up the north, up the mid-Atlantic coast, right? And this is day 5, right? Okay, so this is, wish I had dates up here, but because it gets me screwed up. With Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday time frame, right? So for severe weather, we have chance of thunderstorms. Um, interesting enough, here on the Front Range of the Rockies into Texas, Oklahoma, Central Plains. And day 2 is where we got the severe risk in the south here. And if you look at that, we have chance of tornadoes um, Saturday, tomorrow, right? 2% risk. Hail risk, pretty apparent here in this larger area. That's part of that categorical, right? Then you have your thunderstorm surrounding it. And not expecting high winds with this event. So that's pretty interesting, and I guess we'll just have to see how that plays out. But you saw the warm temps building out here, down here in Texas, and with the moisture streaming northward and into that low off the Front Range, is definitely a contributing factor with getting that severe threat going. As far as heavy rainfall, day 8 through 14, we got a slight risk here. We talked about this 5th through the 6th, right? We should look at the calendar. Wednesday and Thursday for both these areas here. Snow, risk of heavy snow along the Great Lakes, 5th through the 6th and the 5th through the 7th. Be mindful, this is after the storm, the Midwest storm, so this is past that time period, 5th through the 7th, 5th and the 6th in this area. No hazardous winds expected during the period. Hazardous temperatures are confined to the northern northeast and then to the upper Midwest. And this is the latest 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. See what the coldest temps are December 3rd through the 7th. It's issued yesterday, be issued today again. They do one every day. So getting warmer out west, and you see where the chances of above normal temps are compared to or near normal. So overall, we talked about this too, but this is the CPC's outlook of precip the same period. Near normal for the Ohio Valley to the Central Plains up into the Northeast, and then the Mid-Atlantic. A good portion of the rest of the U.S. Above normal precip chances, with a below normal area right off the west coast of California and Oregon. And the warmer temps start to build back in here, and cold temps hang on here in the Northeast and upper Midwest, Ohio Valley, and the Northern High Plains in the Northeast quarter, right? And the precip chances, interesting enough, in the middle part of the country, below normal to near normal precip. The rest of the nation, the exception of the California coastline here, above normal, right? And again, this is the week 3 to 4 temperature outlook. They'll reissue this today, so we'll get a better idea what their thoughts are about the forecast temps. This will move out 1 week, so we'll see what they say. And this is the different areas they expect above and below normal precip chances in the same period. Like I said, this was issued a week ago, so likely be updated, have a better idea. We're already in this range, really, so I'm not how accurate this is at this point, but I wanted to show it anyway. I guess that's about it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed your Thanksgiving. I appreciate y'all tuning in, and hope you have a great day, and God bless.